Thank you for joining us for Quick Hit video number 8, presented by Eaton Wiring Devices. Be sure to click on the subscribe button to be notified of more videos as they become available. Today we're going to talk about alphabet soup, or the mysterious world of receptacle catalog numbers. Back in video number 2, we mentioned that even though they all may look basically the same after they're installed, there's a different story going on behind the wall plate. It's important to know this story because receptacles are the one electrical system component that is most heavily used and abused. And slight differences in catalog numbers can make a big difference in terms of cost and durability. Engineers invest a lot of time developing specifications to achieve a desired level of quality and durability for a project. And receptacles are one of the most common items. Depending on the size and scope, there could be thousands of receptacles. So how can the spec be written to achieve the objective? How they are used will normally be determined by the building type: residential, commercial, industrial, or healthcare. Each of these have requirements based on a balance between service duty, cost, and other factors. And here's how these requirements differ in each scenario. There are literally hundreds of different types of receptacles and thousands of catalog numbers, but our purpose here is to only study the 5 major design breaks of the standard duplex, which is by far the most common. The descriptive terms here are what Eaton uses to differentiate the designs within their product portfolio. These terms are generally understood by the market, but they cannot be used to define an engineering specification, because different terms mean different things to different manufacturers. And none of these terms are governed by an industry code or standard. The only exception is hospital grade, and you can refer back to Quick Hit video number 7 for more information on this topic. Not even references to a federal specification, or FedSpec, can define anything other than to exclude residential grade devices. Almost all receptacle designs, commercial grade and above, meet the FedSpec performance standard. The construction varies, increasing in cost and durability from left to right. All manufacturers have similar breaks, but may use slightly different terms to describe them. There may also be minor variations in materials and features, but with few exceptions, they can all be put into one of these 5 categories. Let's look at how catalog numbers stack up between different manufacturers. The numbers for residential grade are unique for each one and generally don't create much confusion. Commercial grade is normally used in light commercial construction where there is no engineering spec. And there's no mix-up here because all these part numbers are identical. The confusion comes along with heavy duty and extra heavy duty. These are typically the focus of engineering specs for larger and more demanding projects. So this is where we'll take a closer look. By the way, all the manufacturers considered here produce a quality product, and it's not our intent to disparage any one of them. We only want to show how a subtle change in a catalog number has a major effect on the receptacle construction. Let's first look at industrial and spec grades. Note how the heavy-duty catalog numbers are identical for 3 manufacturers, but this same number is used for the higher grade of another. And this one uses a -S suffix for their lower grade. Furthermore, the other 3 manufacturers employ a prefix or suffix for their extra heavy-duty. These subtle differences are important to recognize because many engineers and contractors assume that when they see the numbers 5362, they're getting the design they want, regardless of prefix or suffix. Now let's consider hospital grade receptacles. Here we see 2 manufacturers using the same catalog number for heavy duty and the other 2 using that exact same number for their extra heavy duty. The latter 2 use an H suffix for their lower grade, whereas the first 2 use a prefix for their higher grade. Note how the numbers 8300 are common to all. So, how can we sort all this out to write a project spec and get everyone on the same page? Unfortunately, there's no easy answer to this question. Either the engineer must be careful to specify accurate and consistent catalog numbers for each manufacturer, or use a carefully worded product description. Both of these options have drawbacks. Catalog numbers can change over time, resulting in a good spec becoming outdated without notice. Descriptive wording can be tricky due to slight differences in construction across all manufacturers. However, there is one way to adequately describe extra heavy-duty duplex receptacles without relying on catalog numbers. Including this language should guarantee a consistent bid and submittal every time. This will force every bidder to their extra heavy-duty product with no exceptions. In conclusion, receptacle specifications are a tricky business. If you need assistance evaluating a project spec, send a copy to the email address below and somebody will be in touch to help. Thanks for joining us. By the way, if you're in the Gulf region, you can also reach out to our agent in your area. There's a link to each agent website in the section below this video window.